All right, this is episode 1 of the shop. Appreciate you tuning in. If you're tuning in, the point of these videos and this commentary is to give a little bit of insight into what processes kind of make this type of haircut happen. My dog Jason needed a haircut, so he usually comes through, gets a high taper. So we're just gonna kind of explain some of the steps and how we build the haircut, and just offer some insight for those of y'all that might be learning about barbering. So at this point in the haircut, I start to put the clips in so that I could be able to distinguish the areas that I need to cut. While we're talking and just chopping it up, I'm preparing my station and getting ready to comb out the hair so that I know exactly what areas I need to cut. He usually gets the type of taper fade, and I've cut him a couple times, so I'm familiar with already what I need to do. So I'm just making sure I have my steps already put into perfect position. It's important to be able to have your systems already built. You want to make sure that you have your guards already out, your what are they called? Your combs already out. Whatever utensils you're going to need to give that haircut and make sure that's the best haircut it can be. You want to make sure that you already have your setup kind of set in that way. All right, so around this point is when I get to line up the sides. So what I usually do to start a haircut like this is I'll line up the sides just so I can set the frame for where I got to fade into. That kind of helps me be able to see the lines before I need to actually cut in hair. So it's like it saves me time instead of me having to line over hairs that I'm not even going to cut, or to fade over hairs that I'm not even going to line. I just line up the hair so I already have like the box set up, and then I just move from there. So this is pretty much me getting everything set and prepared for what I know is going to later down have to be done. So it's just kind of like you prepare in advance while you're cutting the hair. We finally get into actually fading the haircut. So what I do when I'm starting off the fades is I'll go with no guard open, just to kind of set my first guideline of where I know I want the haircut to begin. It's kind of something that is standard procedure within the barbering industry. You just want to start by an open, no guard, just kind of creating the first initial lines. You could go with a debulking guard, like a 2 guard or a 3 guard, depending on how high up the fade is going. But like we said, it's up to the strategy of the barber. So I'm just starting off kind of giving my first guideline and then going to build my way up from there. All right, so we're going to speed it up a little bit, but like we said, the process of just getting the hair on the back cut, you just use a 2 guard, you go up as high up as you need to go, and then you just continue to fade and kind of debulk areas as you see. You can see it up close, but there's certain lines that will exist. When you see lines in the hair, you just comb them down and then you flick at that line. So you continue to go down with the guards based off of whatever amount of hair is left, but essentially it's just a pattern of repetition. You flick at the line, cut down, debulk, and then you make sure that the details look right, and the haircut will start to kind of work itself out. Just make sure you have your system already in place. It's really foundational. Just make sure you have your system in place. So we'll clip over to the next part, but that's kind of us finishing up the back of the hair. All right, so now we getting started on the left side. Simple setup. You just make sure you have the hair combed out. Same thing you do with the back, man. Just make sure you have the hair combed out. You put the clips in, gather all the hair you need just to kind of create the canvas that you need to go and cut over, and keep it simple. All right, here you see the haircut is just getting debulked. I pretty much have done all the fading that I need to do, so it's getting to a good point. This is when it starts to just, you kind of get ready for where the lineup's going to be. So when you do the fade, it kind of helps you if you prepare mentally knowing that you're going to do the lineup, so you can kind of already see where you want to kind of start your lines and how you want to make sure it's even. So yeah, this is really just finishing up that left side, and then when you do the right side, it's going to be the same thing as the left side. Like we said, barbering is just, it's a game of having your systems and keeping sanitized. So it's really simply that. After I finish this left side, I'm going to rinse and repeat on the right side just to make sure it's even. And then, yeah, we'll get over to the lineup. So we'll try and skip ahead to that part. All right, so now we get ready to start attacking that right side. As you can see, there's a lot more hair, but we gonna do the exact same systems, man. Stay simple. We start that initial guideline using the outliners. Then we start after that going straight into what we got to do next. Just getting that guard up and making sure that we continue to build the haircut from the base, going all the way up. Make sure the foundation is set early. Yeah, but it's really just that, and then you'll see the result. But yeah, we'll skip ahead a little bit. But like we said, barbering is a game of having your systems. I'm gonna keep saying it because that's really all it is. Like, if you got your systems in place, you just continue to let those flow, and the haircut's gonna, you feel me, play out how they need to play out. So yeah, we'll catch y'all on the next clip when we're a little bit further along progress because it's the same thing as the left side. All right, so now we're getting ready to start the lineup. This lineup is a specific process that I do just to cut his hair. The way that his hairline's set up, it's some hairs that are in the front on the sides that aren't connected to the middle. So what I do is I start from the middle and then I work my way over to the sides. But then I establish the sides to connect to the faded area so that you kind of create a box around that area. You want to make it like a sharp angle where it's a box, but we want to make sure that we start cutting it from the front, moving over to the sides, so that when you look at someone straight on, it doesn't look like their hairline's crooked. And if you do it from just like the left side or the right side, it'll look like it'll crooked if it doesn't connect to the front. So we make sure we look from the front, start from the middle, and then we just kind of set that line, go left, and then just make sure I continue to look over the hairline from multiple different angles. This is where you don't need to be rushing. You just got to be real patient and real meticulous with the detail. Ready to start using the alcohol wipes so that I can be able to use the razor. What I do is I just put the alcohol, like we said, sanitization is an important aspect of the barbering experience. So you just put the alcohol, yada, yada, yada. But then what it's going to follow up with is me using the razor so I can get a more precise line. He has like a beard, so what I do is I use the razor to create like a sharp line around the beard and kind of outline it. And then I'll also use it on the hairline just to make sure that we get the sharp edges. But this is just the preparation in advance for what I know I'm going to have to do with the razor. So, all right, so right around here, we start using the razor work. This is when you got to be very patient. You got to make sure that when you're cutting the hair, you have clean hands or wearing gloves, and you do the preparation in advance so that the client doesn't get bumps or anything like that. This is just something that is standard procedure in my shop, but I would recommend to you as a barber to make sure that you incorporate that as a standard procedure and show them the haircuts. So now I'm showing it to him. He asked me if I can be able to cut some hair off the top. I say, yeah, of course, I got you. And we get ready to do that. So we'll fast forward to that part, and then you'll see the next clip. All right, and right around here, we're doing the last finishing touches, but this is pretty much where the haircut gets concluded. If you watched all the way through to this far, thank you for watching. Shout out my dog Jason for sliding through for the cut, man. Check out his IG, man, Jason Koga. Check out my Instagram, cj.wilk, and Croasis Cuts. And yeah, appreciate y'all for watching the video. Stay tuned in for some more, man. We will catch y'all in the next one.